the vehicle breaks down on the BRT lane and other vehicles are coming, what is going to be the outcome? How will they, take away the breakdown vehicle from the BRT lane?
BRT is kind of a new experience in Nigeria, and now we are moving to a computer age where everywhere you are going to be very convenient. I love BRT, but it's most safer transport ever.
Has all been.
Thank you very much. You see, that name, or how do I put it, that English conductor has been razzmatized. So now, we can see we are moving towards. We can see we are trying to cultivate the habit in UK, some other cross country. So that's why we try and we don't want to bear the name conductor anymore.
Like in the morning, we do shifts from 5. Some will start from 6 to 2. Then others will go. Then another one will start from 2 to maybe like 7, 8. So once the ones on duty, morning duty, the ticket is no more, there's bound to be crowd and shouting all over.
Well, yes, we are responsible for the security of the ticketing staffs, but this depends. That is if the ticketing staffs are ready to comply. When I say comply, I mean stay at the ticketing point and not loitering around, not staying at their point, because when they are at their points, the ticketing cash point, when they are there, the security guards in charge of the shelters, that is the bus stop, will be responsible for them.
Security guard. Kuma gaskiya da muke aikin mu alhamdulillah, saboda duk wanda muka ba doka yana bin dokan na yadda ya kamata, kamar mu ma yadda shugabannin mu suka ba mu doka a rubuce. To duk wanda ya zo muka kwatanta mashi kuma suna bi, kamar fasinja da ke zuwa a wannan guri suna hawa motoci, idan muka karanta musu ga doka da take, suna ba mu haɗin kai, suna gabatar da wannan aiki alhamdulillah akan wannan. At least za mu kai mu 12. A gaskiya kullum muna yin duty, wanda idan muka zo karfe 6 na asuba muna tashi karfe 10 na dare, kamar yadda aka bamu, kamar da doka ta bamu, kuma bamu da wani ranar hutu, ba wata weekend babu, a karfe 10 muke tashi.
Right, welcome back. New Dawn it is. Quick hot topics, Shola. BRT, have you driven through the new BRT lanes? Is it working? Is it not?
I am pretty impressed by what I've seen. I mean, we've said on this show when the thing was being put together, the stress they put on Lagos people. But since the buses started to run, let me tell you first and foremost, as a Lagosian, not just because I live here, but because I am an indigene, I felt some sense of pride to see buses actually painted, particular buses dedicated to moving people, and they were really moving, as in not stuck in traffic. Even when there's traffic in the mainstream, they kept on moving. I felt some sense of pride. It looked like something that was pretty hopeful. And then the aspect that I have a problem with right now is moving from one end of the city to another is working relatively good. But when you get to the other end where you're going, moving around within that other end, there are no structures in place to encourage me to decide to leave my car in Ikeja and take BRT to CMS when I'm still going maybe to Broad Street.
CMS to Broad, okay.
How do I get there?
Right.
Do you understand? The roads are not paved for me to walk, and they're not specified kind of vehicles that I can say, okay, I can take a taxi, and I don't want to take the buses, the combi buses.
Right.
So those are the issues for me. But
as a skeptic, I like what I see so far. I'm waiting for the cleaning up to see if it works.
It looks like there'll be some cleaning up. I mean, from what we've seen, from what I've experienced and seen, I think it's something one can dare to hope.
Right. Now, going from Lagos all the way to Arugungu, what happened? I mean, Arugungu is sacrosanct. It's a 74-year-old tradition. It's worldwide. But this year, there seems to have been some kind of controversy. Did the winner win? Was the fish dead before it was died? What happened? What?
I guess we'll never know. Because, it's their word, it's the word of the accusers against the word of the winner. And when you think of the fact that, when somebody wins, everybody who loses always thinks that it's because they cheated, you can have a point. But you see, from the report I read, the point that struck me, that made me say, okay, let's look at this again, is the fact that this is a body of water that is not preserved just for this festival. It's a body of water that has fishermen fishing out of it constantly.
All the time.
Now, how can that body of water have been able to preserve, to provide fish that is as big as 70 kg. I mean, that's, you know.
I don't know, you know, I mean,
it defies some sense of logic.
Yeah.
You know, except if by some means, whether direct or indirect, they have caged the fish in one place and they've been feeding it to grow it to that point, and then they released it at the time of the agogo. I'm just kidding. But that's a bit, one should be a bit cautious about that. But apart from that, unless they can actually prove that this is what the person did.
Finally, I think the Minister for Health, Professor Grange, had to resign, herself and her Minister of State for Health. What do you make of all of that situation?
Well, it was pretty unfortunate. The story around this, back everybody knows what. Some inappropriate spending of budget that the president had already directed should be returned back to the nation's coffers from last year.
As it's always done, generally.
Yes, but you know, some people just went ahead and spent out of it. But you know what struck me when I read that report, apart from feeling bad that it had to happen, but it was the first time that I can remember in Nigerian, since I became wise and understanding in Nigeria, that some top-level official, government official, will take the rap for something that goes wrong within their ministry. I mean, that is unprecedented. And I commend the government and everybody involved that at least now we're starting to see people take responsibility for actions that are going on under their jurisdiction. But then, you see, I now listen to Professor Grange's statement, and I commend her. I commend her integrity, the fact that she could rise up. You know, what you usually hear is they will give one political explanation, but no, she went straight to the point. This happened under my watch. It shouldn't have happened. I take responsibility for it, but I don't take the blame because I'm not the one who spent the money. But I take responsibility for it because I should have paid more attention. And it will get a lot of people to be on their toes more. So I
thumbs up for that.
Yes,
okay, quick question. Is that easier because she's a woman? Are women more likely to do that?
It's possible. Because you see, with women, we don't have egos to rub. Okay? We are hands-on people.